Hello again, and welcome to Nonprofit Marketing with Purpose. Yeah, we're switching up the name to Nonprofit Marketing with Purpose. We were just marketing with purpose, but since we have adjusted our audience to be very specifically speaking to people like you, nonprofits, we felt like it would make more sense to have the title reflect the audience that we serve. So there you have it. Now you are listening to, I don't know, is this like the first episode or the gajillionth episode? I don't really know. But either way, it's still the same fun podcast, just with an extra word tacked to the beginning of the name. Yeah, so there you have it. And today on this very podcast, we are going to talk about what to post on social media. Last week, I talked about doing social media for multiple audiences, like how do you handle that? And that was a challenge that came out of consulting sessions earlier in 2020. And another question that I heard a lot during those consulting sessions was, what should I post about on social media? And so as you guys are rolling into the period of the year where I know that you're doing lots of marketing planning, I know that you're going to have the same question as well. So what I did was I went over the clients that we serve, our nonprofit clients, and I looked at their data for the last year. And then also I took information from conversations and reviews that I've done during consulting sessions, and I used my gut and I put this all together into this podcast. And that is how I'm going to give you this advice today. And also, before I dig in, just realize that most of the information that we're talking about here is on Facebook. My clients, due to the area that we're in, Facebook is the best place for them to be right now. I'm not saying that it's the best place for your nonprofit to be. We are actively growing their audiences on other mediums, especially Instagram. But for the most part, they get almost all of their traction on Facebook. So the data that I'm sharing with you today is mostly based on Facebook review. Okay, friends. So let's get to business. Let's talk about what to post on social media. You're on a mission, and you just need more people to know about it. And whether you're brand new to marketing or a seasoned pro, we are all looking for answers to make marketing decisions with purpose. I'm Monica Pitts, a techie, crafty business owner, mom, and aerial dancer who solves communication challenges through technology. This podcast is all about digging in and going digital. I'll share my marketing know-how and business experience from almost 20 years of misadventures. I'll be your backup dancer so you can stop doubting and get moving towards marketing with purpose. So as I reviewed these different social media accounts, I tried to group posts into types. So I'm going to share with you the types of information that work really well when you post them on social media, especially Facebook. Now, as you're planning out what you're going to put in your social media, the first thing that you need to tie back into is, who are you talking to? What is your audience? So if I were you, I would go back to your social media data that you already have and look at it for the last year. Look at the types of posts that did well for you and what didn't do well for you. You're going to see what are the ones that get the farthest reach, and you're going to ask yourself, why would they go so far? Now, when I say reach, I'm talking about unique views of the content. So those are individual people that saw that content uniquely. When we talk about impressions, that's like the overall number of times that the content was viewed. And then when I talk about engagement, that is when people interact with the content, when they like it, when they share it, when they click on it, when they play it. Those are all engagements. Now, the way that it works is we want more engagement on every piece of content, so that way it gets a bigger reach. Bigger reach often equals more impressions. More engagement equals more impressions. More engagement to Facebook means that Facebook thinks that you have a deeper relationship with this individual and is more likely to show them information that you post again. So it's basically showing Facebook that you are friends with this person when they engage with your content. So if you're just posting stuff that doesn't work, it's kind of like calling someone and leaving a message and never having them return your call versus the person that you call and they immediately call you back, right? So that engagement is like a callback. It's showing Facebook that the stuff that you post matters to this person, and then they are more likely to show it to that person. And that's why we're worried about those metrics. Those are the ones that I look at the most. So when you look over your data, you're going to look at it and say, what do I see here? And then you're going to do what I did, and you're going to try to group these posts into buckets. Then the next thing that I want you to do when you're planning out what you're going to post on social media is you can look at your emails and see what worked well in your emails. You can look at the subject lines that worked well. Those are often really good indicators and like data that you can lean into that's going to show you, hey, this is great. But then I also just want you to think about the people that you're talking to, your target audience, because oftentimes the people that you're talking to have the same core values as your organization and the same interests as your organization. Those are the people that we want to hang out with, right? The people that are like us. We want to attract more people with our values and with our interests so that way we can make friends with them easily. So as you're thinking through these people, and this is really easily done in like a target audience exercise. If you're looking for like guidance in a target audience exercise, we do have our free marketing plan template that you can download out at maycreate.com. If you click on nonprofit resources, it's right there. And within that is a target audience activity. So defining your target audience is going to allow you to see what do they care about. And then you can also look at the core values activity in that template and you can see what do you care about. And the things that overlap, that's what you want to talk about. All right. So each one of my clients talks about slightly different information, but they do it within these buckets, right? And their information is different because the mission of their organization is different and the core values of their organization are different. So just keep that in mind as you're going through this. That target audience, knowing who they are, knowing them like they're your best friend, that is the magic thing. That's what's going to make this social media work. First, putting your heart in the right place and knowing that you're talking to these people that are your friends, that are like you, and being authentically yourselves. And then second, making sure that you look at the stuff that you've done to see if it worked or not. Because sometimes, you think, oh man, this is going to be great, but it's really not great. And in that case, maybe you just repost it and see if it does better the second time, right? Okay, so I just talked briefly about buckets, like the different types of information that you might post, right? So all of my clients share a bucket that's called celebration. So this is the first type of content that I want you to make sure that you post on social media is celebratory content. So let me give you a few examples of this. Boone History and Culture Center announced that it may have the largest collection of photographs in the nation, and it reached 900 people and got 305 engagements. This was a celebration, right? And within every celebratory post, I feel like you can have three parts. You have this is what we're celebrating, thank you for helping us get there, and here's where we might be going next, right? And you could leave off the here's where we might be going next, but really that's the recipe for a great celebratory post is here's what happened. Thank you for helping us get there. Another really successful celebratory post that I found was a first wildlife visitor celebration. One of our clients, Mobility Worldwide Columbia, they just built a new production facility for their mobility carts, and they had geese that came to the facility for the first time. And so they posted a picture of the geese and some other pictures of people at the facility, and it was a great post for them. Another great celebratory post that I found was an Emancipation Day post where Boone County History and Culture Center posted about Emancipation Day, gave some history behind it, and shared some photos of our area. Now, another example of a celebratory post is just celebrating and showing people what their donations allowed you to do. So one thing that Mobility Worldwide does a lot of is posting about who their carts were given to and what those people did with them. one particular post that did super well, it actually didn't even have a person in it, which is very surprising because most all of these posts that did really well had people in the pictures. But they basically just said, hey, one of our Columbia, Missouri carts made it to a donation event at Mount Kenya University, and they gave away 6 carts to 2 children and 4 adult beneficiaries. So that's just them showing, hey, look at how great this is. You guys helped us do this. And then the last post, that celebratory post that I wanted to share was, when you're in the middle of a campaign and you have a goal, you need to post about that goal. So when you hit it, you need to celebrate it. So for our local year-end giving campaign, Como Gives, that supports 142 local nonprofits and is powered by the Community Foundation of Central Missouri, we hit $1 million this year. That was the goal, was to hit $1 million. And so the second that we hit $1 million, and we knew when we were going to hit it because we were watching it like crazy people. And Erica, the project manager that works for May Create, that manages that project, she was actually the lucky lady who got to hit that $1 million mark with her donation. And man, she deserved that sense of gratification because she's worked really hard on that project all year long. So we just put up a very simple post. You did it. We hit $1 million. That was it. And it was one of our best posts of the campaign. And just showing people like, we did this, thank you, right? And that one is flipped, but basically the recipe is the same. And we're celebrating what we've done. We're celebrating what you helped us accomplish. So celebration posts are really awesome. Now, in this example, set of examples that I gave you here, you can see that some of them are very much in the moment, right? So the wildlife visitor and the we hit $1 million, those posts are in the moment posts. So you would make them when they happen. Now, the other ones, Emancipation Day, the carts being delivered, the announcement of the largest collection of photographs, those celebratory posts, they don't have to be done real time. Those are things that you can schedule as time goes along. We wouldn't have known that it was Emancipation Day unless we had looked ahead on the calendar. So not all of your celebratory posts need to happen in the moment. If you are always posting in the moment, you're probably going to feel overwhelmed a lot of the time. So think ahead. What are some things that you can celebrate? And you don't just have to celebrate things that just happened. You could celebrate things that happened in the past. A lot of posts that do really well, Jason calls them his Throwback Thursday posts, and he'll pull up a great picture from the past and he will celebrate that moment again. And those do really, really well for our clients as well. Okay, so the second bucket, the second type of post that you should definitely make is showing your ability to tackle a challenge. Challenge and result, right? So you're going to show them that you have the ability to pivot and take care of the needs of those you serve. So one post that did really well was a video of the traveling trunk. Okay, so what's the traveling trunk? So Boone County History and Culture Center has a program called the Traveling Trunk. Well, the traveling trunk isn't traveling very much right now, but they did make a video about it and they posted that video and it got a lot of engagement. And, it's actually counter to most of their posts. Most of their posts are posts about history, right? And this one was a person who's there now and talking about history. So while it was about history, it still had a fresh face in it. And so that one, but it did really well for them. They were like, hey, this is what we're doing. Another thing that went really well is one of our clients, Global First Responders. They are a medical aid organization and they usually are serving like other third world countries. They also do some infrastructure building and they help out with education as well. But they spent their energy in the U.S. this year because they couldn't travel like they usually do. And one of the things that they did was build respiratory huts for our emergency room in Columbia, Missouri. So this was a huge post. It had over 9,000 people that saw it, which is awesome, right? But they just said, hey, here is something that we can do to help, and we're doing it. So they sort of feel like celebration, while on the other hand, these are very specifically showing there's a problem and we solved it. So show your ability to tackle a challenge. This is one of the ways that you can build rapport with your audience. One of the ways that you can show them, hey, we are the right middleman to solve this problem that our organization solves. And you're also in the same breath building awareness for the challenge. Okay, so the next type of post that I want you to make is updates. Now, updates are less excited than celebratory posts, I guess. So, for example, Mobility Worldwide, as they were building their new building, they just posted, hey, here's where we're at, and they would show another photo of it. Also, for Como Gives, we shared statistics about what we did with the donations. That did really, really well. We also posted, hey, it's really close to Como Gives time to build awareness for the campaign, and that posted super well. For Mobility Worldwide, we often post pictures of Adam traveling, Adam installing things on the top of buildings, Adam working with children, right? So these are all just updates of what's happening within the travel and the service that they provide in these third world countries, be it medical relief or infrastructure development. So we'll just have a picture of him just hanging out with the other GFR volunteers, and those photos do amazing. And sometimes, Jason is so good at this. He's the person that writes their social media. He looks at this photo and he kind of turns it into not a meme, because it's not a meme, but he'll just put, one or two lines of content with it. Not a lot. One or two lines and maybe an emoji. So it could be Adam in the airport with this huge dolly filled with gear. And the line says, got enough gear, Adam? Smiley face. And people just love it. They interact with it all the time. So those are those kind of little moments that you see every single day that other people don't have the opportunity to see, and you show them, hey, this is the reality. This is what's going on in our organization. This is what we do to serve people. Okay, so the next bucket that I want you to consider is sharing values. So earlier I said, you need to know your target audience. You want to attract people that are like you. So you know what your core values are as an organization, and you're trying to attract people that have similar values to yours, because those are the people that you're going to have the longest relationships with. So sharing your values through your social media posts they do really well. Like, you wouldn't think it, because like, one of the ways that my organizations share values is by just sharing quotes. Sometimes it could be a quote from a person that is part of their organization that everybody knows, and those quotes always do really, really well. But then they also share quotes that are from famous people that really emulate the values that they have as an organization. And quotes do great. Also, calling people to action, like show compassion today, right? So you put a great picture up that exemplifies this core value that you have, and then you call your audience to action. You say, share compassion today. And those do really well also. They get shared a lot, they get liked a lot, because people love that positive energy. And if they have that core value too, they will respond to it. And then another type of post that does really well for us for Como Gives is highlighting the causes that Como Gives serves. So it serves 142 organizations. So we talk about those organizations throughout the year. Now, one of the reasons that the cause highlights do really well is because we tag those organizations, they see the post, and they often share it on their own social feed, which gets it in front of more people. But then also because one of the values of Como Gives is nonprofits. Like, we understand that nonprofits make our community a stronger, better place to live. And when we share about nonprofits to our audience, who also values our nonprofits, they respond, right? The fun thing about these value sharing posts is that your values can really shine through in any post that you make, but quotes and calls to actions, cause highlights like from Como Gives. You could highlight other causes that are similar to yours. Now, these are all things that you can write ahead of time and post later. So you could write a ton of these all at the beginning of the year and just schedule them throughout the year, and you wouldn't have to worry about it again. But then too, as you're rolling through your own social media feed, if you see something that is a core value of your organizations and your audiences, then you can share that post. And that's an easy way to continue that, cycle of interactivity. They're not things that take a ton of time to do. They're just things that are kind of like a high five, not like, hey, let's go out for coffee, but like, hey, how you doing over there? And that's the way I want you to think about these sharing values. And I think that's one of the reasons that they do so well is because they don't take a long time to read. They don't take a long time to process. They're just like, yeah, that's right. I like that. High five. And their high five back to you is by, liking the post. Okay. So the last type of social media bucket type of post that does really well that you might consider doing this year are Facebook Lives. Every single one of my clients that do Facebook Lives, their Facebook Lives are the most engaged, one of the most engaged posts that they have. So Giving Tuesday Facebook Lives, there was a virtual open house for mobility worldwide. I did a Facebook Live very early in the year with the Community Foundation director, who's John Baker, and that Facebook Live did great. Our donor thank you campaign that we did for our Como Gives campaign. So we did a series of donor thank you Facebook Lives where we featured 2 organizations in the campaign for a month and a half before the campaign started, and just thanked our donors and let them know what we did with their donations, and those did really well. So those Facebook Lives, now when you schedule them, a post will go up, and that one, it's not going to do so good. But the actual Facebook Live itself, that post will do pretty darn good. So consider doing Facebook Lives, even if it's just for the simple things, like our local Humane Society does Facebook Lives to introduce the animals at the Humane Society. So there's all kinds of different ways that you can integrate them into your social media mix. Now, again, almost all the posts that did really, really well had photos of people. So focus on photos of people when you're doing your social media posts. Yes, you could just have a photo of a cart, but for Mobility Worldwide, I could just have a photo of a cart, but it will do way better if there's a person in it. If I'm doing a photo for GFR and we're in the middle of Haiti, I could have a beautiful picture of the ocean. It will do way better if there is a person who's a GFR volunteer in it. It would do even better if there was a GFR volunteer serving someone with the picture of the ocean, right? Or something like crazy, like a whale or something. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so just really focus on making sure that you have original photos with people. All right, so I'm just going to go over those buckets one more time. First one is celebration. Second one is showing your ability to tackle a challenge. The third one is updates. The fourth one is sharing your values. And then the fifth one are Facebook Lives. Okay, so what are the posts that you're going to make that aren't going to do as well? Okay, so some people post things like useful links. Those never do well. I want to say that you should still share them because people might find it valuable, while on the other hand, they just don't do as well. So you can take that with a grain of salt. If you're just going to post a bunch of links up there, they're not probably going to do as well. Facebook just doesn't like links very much. It would much prefer that you have pictures and words or videos versus just a link. Okay, COVID-related things. So if you have the word COVID in your post, oftentimes Facebook does not like that. A lot of the posts that I've seen that have COVID in them, I saw the post and I'm like, wow, that's a great post. Like, this is an exciting post. It should do well. But because it said COVID in it, Facebook just will not publish it and share it to the news feed the way that you would think it would. So you might not use COVID in your language very often. Okay, another post that's not going to do very well is we're having an event or save the date. Now, I still want you to make these posts. I just need you to know that they're not going to do as well as your other posts. So you want to focus on that content like the celebratory posts and the values and the updates and those types of things, you need to focus on that content so that way you have good interactivity with people, and then you can post the "we're having an event" post and have people see it, and then not have them interact with it, and it's still okay. So you're still going to want to make those posts on your social media. You just have to make sure that you have a good balance of other stuff so that way you're not just posting about events that you're having. Even if you're doing a Facebook Live, like I said, you're going to make a post, "Hey, we're doing a Facebook Live, we're doing it at noon," and I got to tell you, it's not going to be a great post probably. But the Facebook Live itself is going to be a great post. And if you've been posting other cool stuff that people have interacted with, they're going to see it, and then they'll probably jump on your Facebook Live. Like even our clients who said, "Hey, it's Giving Tuesday. This is so amazing." Now, our clients got tons of donations on Giving Tuesday. It was amazing to see. Like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of donations being made in our community. But the post that said, "Hey, it's Giving Tuesday, isn't that awesome? Go make a donation," that one didn't do very well, right? So we're having an event or Go Give Now. Those ones just aren't going to do nearly as well for you. I'm not saying that you shouldn't make them. I'm actually saying that you should make them, but you just need to plan in your mix to have other really good stuff like your Facebook Lives and your values that you share and your updates, and you're showing your ability to tackle a challenge and a celebration. So that way it balances out these other kind of must-have things to keep people informed about what's going on in your organization, but it doesn't just tank you. Okay, and then a total crapshoot is holidays. You never know. Like holidays could be great. They could be terrible. Some of my clients, their happy Christmas post is the best post that they do that month. And then others of my clients, like nobody even looks at it. So, I mean, if your organization is a faith-based organization, then you should absolutely be making happy holiday posts for the holidays that you are part of, right? So don't shy away from it. Just know that they're not always, they may not be your absolute best posts. Okay, friends, so there you have it. First thing you're going to do is you're going to look at what you did last year and see how it went, and try to categorize things into buckets like the ones that I just made: the celebration, showing your ability to tackle a challenge, updates, sharing values, and then Facebook Lives. You're going to try to have enough of these types of posts that you can balance out those other posts that aren't going to do as well, but you need to make anyway because you need to keep people informed. And then as you're looking for things to talk about, remember that goes right back into your target audience. You're going to think about who these people are, what their values are, what their interests are, and how they overlap with those of your organization. And that's where you're going to try to focus your content, is in that middle bubble right there. And if you need help with that, you can always go over to mayecreate.com, click on the nonprofit resources, and you can download our nonprofit marketing plan template. And also, last thing, we are going to do a live workshop. We actually have 3 of them planned. We have target audience workshops planned for February. So you can jump on those for free, and we will help you work through your target audience together. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I really hope that you learned something. If you did, you could review Nonprofit Marketing with Purpose out on, or oh my goodness, you could subscribe. It would be so great. And then I could show up on your phone, you know? That would be cool. We could hang out in another place, or maybe I'm already showing up on your phone, in which case, thank you once again. I'm so honored to have you as my audience on this podcast. So there you have it, what to post about on social media. So until next time, go forth and market with purpose. So while you're in the planning mindset, I just want to let you know that first quarter 2021, I am focusing my energy on helping organizations just like yours develop marketing plans. See, my 2021 goal is to make marketing less stressful and more successful for 1,000 nonprofits, and I would like to invite you to be one of them. Because if there's one thing 2020 taught us, it's that we cannot rely on events alone to market and fundraise for our organizations. But I know that change can feel really scary sometimes, and I've heard all of the excuses. Let me tell you, people say, You know it needs to change, but you're not sure where to start or you're not sure what to do. Heck, a lot of people just look me in the face and say, Monica, I don't even have enough time to deal with it. So if that sounds familiar, I just want to let you know that you are totally not alone. Just last year, I felt the exact same way. I was sitting down to do our marketing plan for 2020 and I was just overwhelmed with the thought of starting it. And I thought, man, I sure do wish I had a template for that. And while I didn't have the template, I did have a workbook because I had just recently given a presentation about marketing planning. So I took that very workbook and I doctored it up with some instructions and examples and rolled it into one fancy template that you can use for free. But here's the deal. Remember, I said my goal is to make marketing less stressful and more successful for 1,000 nonprofits. And I know that just giving you a template to download is not going to do the trick. And so I've created office hours where you can come and ask me questions. We have free workshops to help you plan your target audience. And after all that, if you still don't feel empowered to make that marketing plan for your organization, you can continue on a more supported path by purchasing our marketing plan workshop and consulting package to get your marketing plan done and ready by March. So if you know you need a change, then let's take that next step together. I'm here to support you and get you moving towards less stressful and more successful marketing. Start the change by going to makecreate.com and downloading my free nonprofit marketing plan template now. I'll meet you over there.